Just let everybody pop on with us here. Make sure that we're all good, that we got it going. Looks like we are doing it slowly but surely. Awesome. What's up, everybody? This is Sonia Gomez coming to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina. I am on the move and so excited about it. Today we have a really super exciting guest that I'm going to bring on here in just a few minutes. While we are waiting for a few more people to join us, make sure that you guys like and share this content. We're going to have a super exciting conversation here talking about CBD and the new companies that are emerging here, particularly Bluebird Botanicals. Actually, I have the CEO with us today, the chief of operations over there, and the chief visionary officer. I like to say it always takes a really strong leader to make sure that things not only get off the ground, but truly make the impact that they are capable of making. CBD has been called the new millennium of medicine here, and we are so excited to continue to talk about not only what the plant and the extract is doing for people's health and functionality, but the new business opportunities that are emerging here and how everyday working people can come into the industry if they follow a few simple steps. Now, before I get started and bring on our guest, let me say what's up to you guys. Let me know where you're tuning in from. What city are you in? What state are you in? Are you excited to be here? If you are, say, oh, yes. And we will get started. This is another bonus broadcast with Legalize It, Don't Criticize It, the place to be for cannabis and CBD and the new and emerging business opportunities and also life-changing stories that are coming through this industry. So let me say what's up to some of you guys and we will get started. What's up, Gina, Chris, April, nice to see you. We got Mike in the house. What's going on? Paul, happy to see you. Thanks for being here, you guys. Hey, make sure that you like and share, tag 5 people that you know this is going to make a difference for. With your help, we've been able to impact over 27 million people's lives, and we want to continue to bring the truth about cannabis, CBD, and the business opportunities, the life-changing stories out into the world so that we can help more people get safe access to this miracle medicine that so many people want and need. With that being said, you guys, give a nice, warm, Legalize It, Don't Criticize It welcome to our guest, Mr. Kevin from Bluebird Botanicals. What's going on, Kevin? Thanks for being here.
Hey, everyone. I'm Kevin. I'm the CEO of Bluebird Botanicals. Great to be here, and I'm excited to share with you a little bit of our insight and experience at the CBD market. Things are blowing up right now. It's a great business to be in, and we're making a positive impact on the world every day. We feel really good about what we're doing right now.
Well, I'm so excited, and thanks for introducing yourself and saying who you were. That was going to be my first little swag there. But you know, I'm really excited to learn more about your business. I see you guys all over the place as a local Colorado, and we were just talking about demographically how we have some of those areas in common. You guys is kind of a little bit my neighbor, so I feel extra cool right now. But I really want to know, because you guys are kind of known for the social impact that you're making. First of all, talk to me a little bit about Bluebird Botanicals. What made you get into this industry and start Bluebird Botanicals? And really, what was your mission when you got started?
So we started in 2012. The founder, Brandon Beatty, is the CEO. Amazing guy. He has a background in essential oils. And he's been a fan of dietary supplements and the science behind that for his whole life. And he really got into this at the perfect time. It was right around when we were hearing stories about Charlotte's Web and the CNN special with Sanjay Gupta talking about some of the benefits of CBD. So we were one of the first people to be selling hemp-derived CBD products in the US. Right around 2013 was when we began selling CBD. We were originally more of a superfoods focused company. And the response was amazing right from the get-go. It was just a few people in a small office in Broomfield, and the phones were ringing off the hook. Everybody was doing everything. And they quickly realized that there were a lot of people who were benefiting from this stuff, and sometimes it was difficult for people to afford it if they were sick or, you know, low income, veterans. And so right away we started giving away product and giving, you know, deep discounts to our low-income community, the disabled, and the veterans. And we've just made that part of our core mission. As we grow, we want to always give back.
That's so powerful, you know, and you're one of the first people and not to say that this isn't built into other companies, but you're one of the first people to really lead with that as as a kind of a core belief or morale inside of your community, inside of your company and inside of the community. You know, a lot of people talk to us about how great their product is and the highest quality and all of this stuff, but I love how you lead with, you know, really staying true to wanting to the mission to help people and help people gain access to the medicine that they need. And that really impacts me deeply because we have a huge community, and you guys give a shout out if you or somebody that you know is suffering from some sort of chronic condition that CBD has helped, or if CBD is something that you are interested in utilizing to reduce or even in some cases eliminate your medications, if at the very, very least the inflammation or the chronic or the severity of your symptoms. It's been really beautiful to watch how CBD has made a positive impact in all of your guys' lives. So just let us know how it's working for you, or if that's something that you guys are interested in trying. And make sure that you like and share this content if it's something that you're getting value from, and tag 5 people. So Kevin, one of the things that I loved about what you said is we always want to give back. And I want to just, in order to do that, you guys have to be achieving a certain level of success. So when you guys were first getting started, and we both know as kind of veterans in the industry, everyone's trying to get in right now. There's a new brand popping up everywhere. There's a new, product. Everybody has the greatest and the best. Talk to me a little bit about what it was like for you when you were getting started. What were some of your challenges, and what were some of the big wins that made you feel like, oh my God, I think we made it?
Well, like any new industry, there were a lot of concerns in the beginning. There were a lot of people just jumping in, selling not very high quality products. They weren't going through all the necessary good manufacturing practices. They weren't testing all the products, so we didn't know about the safety of the ingredients. So we saw that right away as an opportunity to differentiate ourselves. And we invested heavily in, testing every single batch of product we make, all of our ingredients. And we also went through a really thorough process to become certified GMP compliant. And that means that we're compliant with the FDA's good manufacturing practices for dietary supplements.
That's sweet. So when you got, is it safe to say that when you got that certification, or when you got that sort of validation, that you were like, we made it?
That was a huge moment for us, for sure. And, because this is a new industry and because there were concerns about it, we felt like it was on us to really go above and beyond and set the standard for quality control. And so to get that stamp of approval that we, were certified compliant, we had a third party come and audit us. We scored at 99%. I think probably the highest score of anybody in this industry. So that really was a huge moment for us and helped alleviate some of those concerns about the safety of a product that's, relatively new and regulations aren't always clear. So.
Sure. What are some of the stories that just, for me, as a business owner and a community liaison, I come up against these days where I'm like, F this, I'm done. I'm selling the whole thing. I want nothing else to do with this. It's too hard. And then I'll open up my email and read a story from little Susie who will, in 2 pages of dissertation, will describe to me their transformation, the effects that it's had on their family. And while I'm like dabbing my tears and crying it out, listening to their story, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay in this. Do you go through your days of frustrations with it? And what is it that keeps you plugged into this and so passionate with all of the ups and downs of the industry?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. From the beginning, we've really just been there for our customers. We answer our phone. And, there's customers who call and might need an hour conversation to get into the point where they feel comfortable with trying out one of the products. And sometimes, these customers might have not too many people to turn to. And so we'll always answer our phones. There's people who call us just to talk. We're happy to talk with them and help educate them about cannabinoids. And like you said, some of those amazing emails and stories and phone calls we get every day with people just thanking us makes it pretty clear that what we're doing is good for people. Now, obviously, we can't make any medical claims about this stuff, but those stories of, changing people's lives, we hear them every day. We have a bell in the office that we ring every time we get one of those stories, and the bell's ringing multiple times a day. We have a wall with thank you letters, so it really feels good to make a product that people appreciate.
So what's different? So what's the difference? What's the Bluebird botanical difference? What sets your product apart when there's so many out there on the market? We get tens of thousands of emails a month of folks with different promotions and another product release and blah, blah, blah. We truly know there's only a few companies manufacturing this stuff. What's the Bluebird botanical difference? What makes you guys' stuff different?
So it's that compassionate care that I talked about, the fact that we have a team of people here who answer the phones, who are willing to talk with customers about any of their concerns and, help them really own their health. And then also the quality control, because people are concerned about the quality of a new product, especially a product that comes from cannabis. And so we went above and beyond with quality control from the beginning. Every single bottle that we make has a batch number on it. You can pull that up and you can see directly from a third-party lab certificates of analysis that show that the potency is what we claim. And then also a really extensive purity panel to make sure that every bottle we produce is free of a lot of dangerous contaminants that could show up in hemp. And that really sets us apart. There's not too many people who are doing that level of transparency and testing on these products.
Such an important word, transparency. That's something that this industry is lacking and really doing their best to sort of veer towards, because the consumer demands it. There has been, I've heard horror stories of folks ending up in the hospital because they're allergic to something that's inside of the product. I've also heard of folks spending astronomical numbers, $200-$300 a bottle, and not getting consistent results. So I really, really love that you guys have transparency built into your company, because if there's nothing to hide, you have everything to learn and to gain. And I think that that's just so incredible, especially at this stage in the industry, while we're still in the educational side of things. It's not widely adopted. From the business owner's perspective, we have a lot of people inside of our audience who doesn't have safe and legal access to cannabis, are still nervous about and confused about what the state regulations allow for the possession of CBD. And at the same time, they understand, and say yes if you guys understand this, there's a huge and emerging opportunity for people to join into this industry, and not just the industry, but join the movement with a mission of making this safe and legal to utilize, to possess, to travel with, all of these things that really, for the convenience aspect of this. If you leave your home state where this is legal, you could be jeopardizing yourself right now. I want to help empower my audience with as much knowledge and sort of, how can I say, behind the scenes knowledge as possible as they're considering getting into this. Could you give 3 or 5 tips to starting a successful CBD company or cannabis company in today's market?
Yeah, sure. So, I'd say don't just jump into it and expect to make money right away. If you're doing that, you're probably going to be cutting corners. As a new and emerging industry, we really need to set the standard now for quality. And that's going to be a little bit costly up front. If you're just mixing up CBD oil in your blender and not testing it, you probably aren't going to be selling a consistent or, like a guaranteed pure product. Hemp is a bioaccumulator, so it's possible for it to pull some nasty stuff out of the soil. So testing is really, really important, and quality control every step of the way. Also, just, care about your customers and have more in this than just a desire to make money, and I think that'll become apparent pretty quickly once you realize the impact that you're having with CBD products. That there's more to it than just beginning, that we're making something that's going to be really beneficial to a lot of people. Also, I'd say watch out, because there are a lot of people who are getting into this just to make a quick buck. And there's going to be people reaching out all the time, trying to sell you on something and trying to pass some, bogus certificates of analysis past you. And there's a lot of people to watch out for. So make sure that you do thorough vetting with anybody that you're working with.
So there, you guys, there are three really powerful tips. Number one is don't just get in it with the hit it and quit it mentality. This is something that's so consistent with everyone that I'm speaking to right now. You know, the contrast between people who are really impact driven and want to be in this for the long haul versus income driven who just want to come in, hit the industry while it's hot, get what they can out of it and run. You know, if you come in thinking about what you can take, it's going to give you, this industry will give you a very hard time. And so will the professionals inside of it. And I say we because we're both in this, we are a tight-knit community. This industry is very small. You build a reputation for yourself very quickly. So you really need to come in with a strong value add. How can I add value to this company, to this industry? Would you agree that's what you're saying for step number one?
Absolutely. And, you know, like you said, there's so many people jumping in right now that just selling CBD oil is not going to differentiate you right now. You're going to have to come up with something to make yourself stand apart.
Yeah. And then the second thing I heard you say was be really careful in the people that you're working with. There's all sorts of schemers and scammers who have that sort of get in while it's hot mentality, are selling maybe snake oil or, you know, a bunch of false promises. And because you're trying to get in, it's easy to get taken advantage of. So be really careful and do your due diligence.
Absolutely.
Was the second thing I heard you say. Have you had a bad experience?
You know, one thing we learned quickly is just to ask people for certificates of analysis if they're trying to sell us any ingredients. And then we also test every ingredient that we bring into our facility. And, you know, in the beginning, we did find that people would maybe send us a certificate of analysis saying that this was free of contaminants and that this was this potency. And we did our own testing and found out that wasn't the case. So ask for those tests and then test yourself because, you know, you want to be absolutely certain that you're selling the safest, purest products.
Yeah, so that reiterates the third thing that you said was really do your due diligence. Don't be afraid to do the research. Make sure that you are double crossing your T's, double dotting your I's, especially when it comes down to compliance, right? You really need to know the source step by step by step at the entire process from seed to sale, just to cover your own butt, let alone the folks that you are going to be serving. So those are three really powerful tips, you guys, as you're considering getting into the industry. We've heard other folks talk about having a really good plan of execution, having a really great team around you, having really powerful marketing and who you are in the market or brand presence. I think Bluebird does that so well. I love how you guys sort of present the t-shirts that I was talking about at the pool yesterday. So there was this they looked like they were from the Midwest, right? They were like your Midwestern brand ambassadors. There was like Bluebird botanical t-shirts and these like navy blue with like white, and then they had emblems on the side hip, which were really cool. I thought it was just such clean branding that you could be like a corporate head or a dead head, it wouldn't matter, and you'd be able to rock the gear. So I think being transferable between both markets is really powerful. I'm interested to know what inspires you every day when you know, as the head of your company, you have to have a really big vision. You have to be inspirational to your team to make it enjoyable. How do you build your company culture around your vision, and what is your vision for this company?
You know, unlike a lot of companies, we didn't really have to fake it. We didn't have to come up with a big, you know, outward facing image that's talking about, you know, some grandiose sustainability and caring initiatives that aren't really there yet. Yeah. It just happened from the beginning where we had really compassionate, caring people. We built a lot of really strong relationships with our customers, and we really focused on the quality. And then we got to a point where we just decided to start shouting that to the world more and just telling the world who we really are. And so right now we're growing quickly, and we really just want to stay in line with where we started, which was that really compassionate care and making the highest quality hemp products with extensive testing and radical transparency as to what's in those products. So we just want to stay true to our values there, compassion and radical transparency as we grow. And we want to grow so that we're able to supply the world with more of these products because they're really helping people.
Yeah, I totally agree. What has been some of the biggest personal impact that this industry has had in your life? How is your life different today than it was pre 2012 when you got in?
So, I mean, night and day. I was working at Whole Foods in a number of different positions. It was really hard work, really rough hours. You know, I'd have to be up at 4 a.m. to unload a truck and stock a freezer. And I had a vision of maybe, one day being in, some sort of executive role at Whole Foods. And I liked the company. They had a great mission at the time and great culture, but I just burnt out on it and was really ready to just take a leap and try something else. And that was a really scary time in my life because I dedicated a lot to Whole Foods and I felt like I was giving up on something big and just jumping out into the unknown. And, the legality wasn't fully clear at that point. It was a pretty small company still. And so I felt like I was taking a big risk. And now I feel really confident in what we're doing. And I'm just so overjoyed every morning to come to work. We have an amazing team, beautiful lab in Louisville, Colorado, and we're helping so many people every day and we're growing so we can help more. I really feel like we're doing something very meaningful. It's a drastic change from where I was a few years ago. So I'm very grateful.
And what's that like for your, I see that you're married by your ring. So what's that like for your wife when, I know for me as a wife, when I look at my husband and he's achieved some level of greatness that makes him feel inspired and really proud, that for me as a wife, I'm like, oh, that's my man. Like he totally did it. and the dynamic in our household completely shifts. So we are both kind of in our power position. And I recognize that with people, especially who are making that sort of transformation from average Joe to, can a tycoon, right? And that's what I would consider you to be. Even the small wins make us that powerful person, especially inside of these industries. What's that like for you at home? What was it like for when you told your wife, like, I'm going to just set my aspirations to be an executive head for one of the largest grocery food chain stores in the world and just go for this other thing over here. I know it's not totally legal, but I think I can make it work. Was she like, what was her reaction to that? And what is her reaction today?
It was definitely scary. We had to move into a smaller house and take on a lot of credit card debt, and it was terrifying. But now, she's so proud of me. I'm so proud of her. We've both grown a lot in the past few years. She's working for the Colorado Department of Public Health now, and so we have a lot of good overlap between our jobs that we can nerd out over. And we both feel like we made the right choice. We might have sacrificed living comfortably for a few years, but it now feels like it was really worth it. We're both in a really very grateful.
Man, that's so awesome. Congratulations. And congratulations to your wife. I kind of feel like she's your boss though in some cases, because she could like cut you out, right? If you mess up at home, she could pull your cool card real quick.
Yeah, it's definitely a funny dynamic for sure.
Oh man, that is just such a good answer for a good joke right there, I'll tell you. So fun. What's a quote that inspires you? Like, what's a go-to quote? I know myself, there's the thing that's like, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. That's my quote that I always say. That one and Bob Marley's love the life you live. That's something that I use in a lot of my marketing videos. I just want to inspire people to love life because it's such a precious gift and it's yours to do whatever you want with. What's a quote that inspires you?
So I was thinking about that before, and the Ram Dass quote, "Don't compare your path with anybody else's. Your path is unique to you." That goes for a lot of things. For me, the first thing that came up was just how I was second guessing myself, having dedicated a lot of time to Whole Foods while some of my friends were moving up in their careers, and I was stuck unloading trucks at 4 a.m. Then also, being a leader here, it's really important just to keep that in mind with day-to-day conversations that your path, your mindset isn't going to be the same as everybody who you talk to every day. and listening to them and, meeting them at their level is really important with everything we do, just to make sure that we're effective leaders and that we're caring about people and that we're compassionate for the people who we work with.
What's that responsibility that you feel as a leader right now? I know when you're, it's a big contrast to go from unloading a truck at 4 a.m. when you'd rather be sleeping, spooning your honey. I know anybody that wakes me up at 4 a.m., I'm like, So it's a huge contrast to go from, unloading a truck to owning and having to really step into your power as a leader. What sets you apart as a leader? How would you describe yourself, and what makes you proud about your leadership style?
I'm trying to learn every day and make myself better every day. It's a lot of responsibility, and I'm not going to say that I am the best leadership figure, but I'm constantly working on improving that and balancing, wanting to get things done, wanting to be a profitable company, wanting to keep moving ahead with compassion and caring about people as individuals and making sure that we're helping to grow our team and helping to make people better. That's always the balance that we're trying to strike. We are a business, so we do need to be profitable, but we also need to understand that our people are people and that they're all unique, and we want to care about them and help them grow with us.
I love that. I feel like we need to be friends. I want to come down to, I need more people like that in my life. It's very similar to how my husband and I run our company. We have a lot of people from our community wanting to volunteer inside of our group, just because we have such a powerful movement here. And we have folks from all over the world reaching out and either telling us their stories or asking for certain types of support. And we're always looking for folks that have products or resources or services that we can refer them to so that we can make the biggest difference that we can. And again, as you guys are getting value from this video, make sure that you like and share and tag 5 people. Bluebeard Botanicals is a Colorado company right down the street from where we actually live. My family and my sisters all around. You guys saw me broadcast for years from Boulder. Kevin, I would love to come and check out the lab and let everybody behind the scenes how it works and how it's made.
That would be great. Yeah, we'd love to have you here. It's a beautiful lab and fully GMP compliant, so it's a pretty cool operation. You're welcome to come by anytime.
So fancy. Yeah, I'm totally going to come check you out. I'll be down there actually on this Friday if it works. We could pop in on our way up to Grand Junction. Yeah,
that'd be great. We'd love to have you.
Okay, cool. I'll shoot you an email. Here I am making deals on on live. You guys, that's how it's done. You just say what you want to do. You just got to be open for opportunity all the time. No, I think it'd be really cool. I always try and showcase when we first started this, Kevin, we the word transparency is such a huge one. I want to put it on a shirt. But nobody wants to show you anything beyond the bottle and the label. Right? They just want you to see the pretty stuff that they put into their branding, but they don't want to talk about where it's coming from, how it's made, the seed to the sale process. And I was always like, why not? Let's lift the skirt on this and check out the panties. I want to see how Big Bertha is working. So that's something that I'm really passionate about, is working with high level companies and their leaders to be able to show and showcase the beauty of how this whole thing is made and how it gets to their countertop and ultimately into your bodies to make a difference. So that if that's something that you guys would be excited to see, say, oh yes, in the comments, and we will make sure to make a date and come check you out. I think it's so powerful what you're doing, and more importantly than what you do is how you do it, because it says a lot about how you do the rest of the things in your life. And so I have a lot of admiration and respect. And I think you're a perfect representation of what's happening in the industry right now. Everyday people who are working and frustrated with their everyday jobs, who are wanting to participate in this extraordinary movement right now that is becoming an industry. The movement is actually becoming an industry, which is really, really powerful to be a part of and to watch. So I'm so grateful to you for the work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. And yeah, we'd love to have you. we don't have anything to hide. So you and anybody else, welcome to stop by whenever.
Awesome. That's so great. Do you have any questions for me? I mean, that's all I have for you. I'm so inspired by you. What do you want to know?
You know, I did want to touch on the current farm bill that's it just passed the Senate and the House, and it's moving to House Senate Conference Committee. Wanted to see if you had touched on that at all, or if you were familiar, if any of your viewers were familiar with what's going on with the Hemp Farming Act language in the Farm Bill.
So I am becoming familiar. I just saw that, and I'm really super inspired because I've actually I actually have a lot of people from all over the country who have either stagnant or operational farmland right now, and they're trying to figure out how do they make the transition to cultivating hemp. Where can they get the strains? What strains? Where do they sell it? What's the business model? And we work a lot on a consultative basis with people who have no idea what to do with the cannabis industry, but they have some kind of existing asset, whether it's a professional skill set or certification, land or real estate. Maybe in some cases they just came into some money. Anywhere from 5,000 up to 500,000. People are just trying to figure out what their master play is in this space. And so with the new progress in the Farm Bill, I'm just learning, going through, dissecting all of the language, because it can get tricky. A little bit of background on me. I helped write the legislation, House Bill 1084, which legalized cannabis for-profit medical model. And I owned one of the first 100 licensed facilities in Colorado. We had all 3 licenses, and it was so tricky because on one page it would say one thing, and 4 pages later it would be a direct contradiction. And we were like, man, that makes it hard to make a decision. So I'm diving into it deep right now. I'm actually in North Carolina because we are going to be hosting a major hemp expo out here with 3 areas of focus. One is on the farming and cultivation side. One will be on the health side, where we'll be featuring products like yours. We'd actually love to have you as one of our speakers or panelists. That would be really interesting. And then on the investors side. So we're trying to help folks understand exactly what those opportunities are, and getting a very distinct view, and turning this otherwise complicated bill into cliff notes of layman terms will be super powerful for our community, so that anybody who reads it can understand it at a 5th or 6th grade level and not have to be confused by the language. So we're diving into it right now and turning it into an asset that a lot of people can leverage to make decisions. What I'm noticing, especially on the cultivation side, is that a lot of people who are in jeopardy of losing their family legacy, like hundreds of acres of standing farmland, are so passionate and in some cases desperate to figure out how they can lean on the, how can I say, leniency of the new Farm Bill to save their legacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm passionate about that. So are you working directly with cultivators yourself as sourcing your CBD, or are you working directly with manufacturer?
Yeah, so we work with a number of farms in Colorado to source our hemp plant material, and then a number of extractors too. And so all those go through our supplier verification process to make sure that they're all on board with our quality control system. And one of the biggest things for the farmers right now is that they don't have access to crop insurance. So if, you have somebody like you were talking about who it's their family legacy farm, and they want to invest a few $100,000 to fill that up with hemp, and then a huge hailstorm comes in and wipes it out, they aren't covered. And so with the Hemp Farming Act language that's hitting the House Senate Conference Committee, if that passes, farmers are going to be able to insure their crop, which is huge. I think a lot of more people will be willing to get on board with it at that point. Yeah. So we're really hopeful for how this is going to turn out in the next month or so. If you follow hempsupporter.com, you can keep an eye on the progress with that bill. The House Senate Conference Committee has already been announced. Mitch McConnell, who's a big hemp advocate, is heading up the committee. And we also have Jamie Comer from Kentucky on the committee, another big hemp advocate. So we're very hopeful that if this language passes into the final edition of the Farm Bill, that it's really going to be a new era for hemp in the United States.
Yeah.
So anybody who's interested, definitely check out Hemp Supporter and see if you can reach out to your representatives to let them know that you support that.
Sweet. Yeah, I would love to do a feature on Hemp Supporter. If you know anybody inside of there who wants to have access, we can geo-target to for specific points of interest and bring in more folks who are specifically interested in hemp. We do have a mixed community of folks who love cannabis and folks who love hemp, and then the hybrid of both. So anything that I can do to bring more awareness to that. I work a lot on the financial side, so helping farms find the financial resources they need to either protect themselves or seek outside protection. I also do a lot of the connection and bringing in, you know, strains that are compliant hemp strains, ones that won't burn hot in testing and stuff like that. So interesting. I'm really excited to see what happens over the next month. And this will be a really powerful messaging for the event that we're hosting too, because especially being over here in North Carolina, that's where the event is going to be. Folks over here don't know very much at all about this, and there's nothing but open spaces around here. So yeah, it's really interesting. Have you drove west recently? There is, I think about, so I live in Glenwood Springs. I live in a little town called Parachute, and it's about a 45-minute distance. And in between Glenwood and Parachute, there has to be 60% of my drive that is now all hemp.
Yes, we have seen quite a few new farms popping up there. And it's one of the amazing things about hemp is that it grows really well in all sorts of different climates and all sorts of different soil conditions. And yeah, like you said, North Carolina, perfect, you know, lots of farmland, lots of struggling agricultural communities. That's why it's doing so well in Kentucky. I think part of why we have so much support from Kentucky Republicans is they see this as a really great solution to a lot of the struggling agricultural communities that just haven't had a great commodity to sell for a while.
Yeah. Are you going to be going to the NoCo Hemp Fest out here in September next year?
Yeah, we will be here indeed.
Sweet. I'll totally see you out there, and maybe I'll pull you out to North Carolina Q1 of next year. That'll be a lot of fun to have you out.
Yeah, I would love that. That'd be great.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's so great to get to know you. I can't wait to see you. I'll shoot you an email just talking about some of the time frames that maybe we can check you out on Friday and come over to your facility. And for any of you guys who are interested in learning more about Bluebird Botanicals, you can check them out. You can check them out on Facebook. And I'll also post all of the links inside of this chat here and pin the post so you guys can check out their different social medias and bluebirdbotanicals.com, right?
That's right.
Okay, awesome. You guys can check them out there. Make sure that you like and share this content as you're getting value from it. Again, with your help, we've been able to impact over 27 million people's lives with the truth about cannabis, CBD, and it is our mission to continue to help you get connected to the products, the resources, and relationships you need to change the way that you feel and function every single day. This is our opportunity, as you heard from Kevin's story, to come out of mediocrity and step into our excellence, own our power, and our future is filled with nothing but possibility. I'm so proud to be a leader inside of this community, to have you guys as a part of my family. Thank you so much for all of the work you do to help us share this message and fuel this mission and continue to push this movement forward. I'm your host, Sonia Gomez, and I will see you guys on the next broadcast. Thanks so much for being with us, Kevin. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Stop recording.